This story isn't about a boy with a contract in his pocket. This is the story of a guy who was packing your groceries at a Vega Baja supermarket and a few years later made the whole world learn Spanish even if they don't know a single word except just, hola, take a seat. This is the path of Benito Antonio Martinez Ocasio, whom you know as Bad Bunny. Matt, let's go back to 2016. Puerto Rico, the town of Vega Baja. If you walked into the local Econo supermarket back then, you would have seen an ordinary guy in uniform packing your groceries. That was Benito. He was 22, studying communications at uni, and, well, just working the register to have money for food. Benito wasn't a street gangster like many in reggaeton. He was an ordinary introvert who sang in the church choir and loved wrestling. He chose his stage name from an old childhood photo where he was forced to wear an Easter Bunny costume. He had a grumpy face in the photo, and that's how the nickname Bad Bunny appeared. He'd come home, open an old laptop, and just record tracks. No studios, no money. He uploaded it all to SoundCloud and thought, well, maybe someone will like it. But the internet had other plans. The track Dials blew up the net. Producer DJ Luian heard it, was impressed by his voice, and realized he had a future. Benito was becoming popular fast. In 2017, he released the song Soy Peor. This track became his first big success. Without a big budget video, without TV promotion, the song just spread through streaming and social media. After that, people started recognizing him. Then everything happened pretty fast. He started regularly releasing new tracks, working with famous artists, performing at festivals. At the same time, he didn't change his style for the market. He continued to sing in Spanish. But there was one problem. Producers wanted him to be like everyone else. Gold chains, standard lyrics about cars, and womanizers. But Benito didn't like that style. He wanted to paint his nails in bright colors, wear weird glasses, and skirts or suits if he felt like it. He realized if he wants to become a legend, he must do not what is needed, but what he wants. In 2018, he makes the song I Like It with Cardi B and J Balvin, and all of America finds out about him. The track takes first place on the Billboard Hot 100. In the same year, he released the album X100 PRE. It was a full-scale project where he mixed reggaeton, trap, Latin pop, and more chill tracks. In that same 2019, huge protests against the governor's corruption began in Puerto Rico. And what does Bad Bunny do? He stops the tour, flies to the island, goes out into the streets with the people, and becomes one of the leaders of the protest. 2020 became a decisive year for him. First was his first appearance at the Super Bowl. He performed together with Shakira and Jennifer Lopez. Then the pandemic started, and while other stars didn't really promote themselves, Bad Bunny released 3 albums in a year. His album El Ultimo Tour del Mundo made history, becoming the first ever album entirely in Spanish to reach #1 on the Billboard 200, December 2020. The album also topped the top Latin albums chart and won a Grammy. In 2022, the album Un Verano Sin Ti comes out. This disc broke all Spotify records, becoming the most streamed album in the history of the platform, and you definitely know his song Neverita. Benito was the #1 artist in the world for 3 years in a row. He surpassed even Taylor Swift and Drake. But besides music, he went into movies, starring with Brad Pitt in the film Bullet Train. He went into wrestling and performed in WWE so well that he now even has the title former WWE 24/7 champion. Now for the most interesting part. This night went down in history. Bad Bunny became one of the most popular artists at the Grammys 2026, doing what previously seemed impossible. His record, Debí Tirar Más Fotos, won in the most prestigious nomination. Album of the Year. This is the first case in the history of the award when a Spanish-language album received the main statuette of the evening. Benito took home 2 more awards, for Best Música Urbana Album and Global Performance. Receiving the award from the hands of Harry Styles, he moved the hall with his speech and also the phrase "Ice Out." On February 8, 2026, he stepped onto the stage of the Super Bowl 60 halftime show at Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara, California. This performance became one of the most discussed events of the year. Bad Bunny performed his hits almost entirely in Spanish, while guest artists such as Lady Gaga and Ricky Martin joined him on stage. The show got a huge response. Many fans and artists supported the performance, noting that Bad Bunny brought Latin culture to the stage, which hadn't been on the Super Bowl before. At the same time, there were critics. Among them was US President Donald Trump, who called his performance one of the worst ever. The story of Benito is proof that sincerity is always above everything. He went from the checkout in a store to the main award in the world, but he never changed himself and never started singing in English. Bad Bunny proved that you don't need to adapt to the world to be noticed. If you are real, the world itself will learn your language and follow you.